Hey,
Hi.
you wouldn't leave without your old college roommate, would you?
No.
I'm so proud of you. Hi, Norman.
You guys ready? You gotta pack.
Good afternoon. We are with Miss Jackie Moore, who portrays Francine Conway in the Chimera Effect. How you doing, Jackie?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing
Good.
well. Thank you for taking the time. We just want to take some time to dive into your character, Francine. How you gravitated towards the project, your process, working with your castmates, things like that.
Yeah.
Oh, great. So let's talk. Let's just hop right into Francine Conway. Yeah, your character. Let's talk a little bit about Francine and what she. How does she fit in the story, and how did you bring her to life?
Well, Francine is the best friend of Samantha,
Yeah.
and they met in high school. So she's kind of a very, very close friend, and also right now dealing with her own kind of distance from Samantha. So it's like at this point in their stories, they've kind of taken some time off from each other in a way.
Oh, hey.
Hey,
How you been?
been a while.
Yeah, I know. It's good to see you.
You too.
Come on in, make yourself at home.
You know, there's some tension there between them. And Francine was dealing with an addiction. And so she was in rehab for a little bit. And basically, during that time, Samantha wasn't reaching out as much as Francine would have liked. So that has caused some tension.
So definitely, there's some a lot of depth and layers to their relationship.
Yes.
Is that fair to say?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
How did you prepare to become Francine?
Well, the interesting thing was that I actually read tarot and or I dabble in it. You know, I've
Yeah.
always kind of been interested in maybe not paranormal, but
Yeah.
being more intuitive and in touch with like spirituality and things. And Francine's occupation is she's a psychic.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was really cool to kind of be able to use my own interests in psychic arts
Yeah.
in the character.
Justice. Cause and effect. Clarity. Truth.
3 for 3. Let it ride. Hit me. Francine, the suspense is killing me.
It's the lover's card. Usually it means union, duality, partnership, but
But what?
it's inverted.
Meaning what?
Well, when a card is reversed, sometimes it can have an adverse meaning. In this case, it means loss of balance, disharmony, one-sidedness, attachment, a dark bonded energy.
Okay.
And I guess the hardest part was kind of endowing that addiction with something that I could connect to. I think we all have struggles in our life that we face, and addiction is a very, very difficult thing for anyone to go through. And I think just connecting with that aspect of Francine was the most challenging because I don't have a drug addiction. So
Yeah.
to go into that headspace and to see where that really comes from was challenging. So, yeah, I think that would be. I don't know if I answered the question, but
No, you did. You did. It's one of those things where you talked about finding something that you can pretty much dig your heels into and really have that foundation and that base.
Yeah.
And that's extremely fascinating because Francine, like you said, her relationships are very layered. Whether it's with Sam or Veronica or anybody within the cast, she's kind of an outlier.
Right.
Is that safe to say? She's kind of the outcast a little bit, but she's a part of the group, and portraying that, it definitely comes through on film. How did that feel, being kind of in the group but out of the group at the same time?
It actually felt a lot like my experience as a kid in school. I think I always wanted to be part of the group, but I just feel like never really fit in. And I think Francine is dealing with that too. It's like just that feeling of almost being isolated and feeling like you don't belong. And I unfortunately connected with that, aspect of the character, because I remember it reminded me of being in school. And I think like kids can be tough, and you always, they can have their cliques and
Yeah.
their groups and not always be accepting of people, or, if you don't really fit into what they want you to be, they can kind of make you feel isolated. And so I definitely responded to that. And
You coming in?
Yeah, I'm just gonna. This was a great idea, Francine.
Okay.
yeah.
What made you gravitate towards the Chimera Effect in the story? You're reading the script, and the story is starting to come to life as you read it. What are some of the things that made you want to go even deeper and more into it?
Well, the wonderful director, I would say, and writer of the movie. I just really believe in both of them, and so that right off the bat, I was like, I'm in. Even before reading it, I just had a really good feeling about the project, and then reading the script, I couldn't stop. I had to find out what happened, and the relationships and the characters felt very authentic and real, and just found myself very drawn into the story.
Okay.
And I love mysteries.
Yeah.
So it's a big mystery. Yeah.
What would you say as Jackie Moore, what the Chimera Effect has, how that's affected you as a person and as a creative? What about the story have you been able to pull into, facets of your own life or just in your own being that you can say you took from working on this project?
I guess just how to deal with certain challenges. I think, that's a very tough question, actually. I think every experience on any set enriches your life because you meet so many new people, and that's another thing about films that I find to be so special, is that every movie is its own thing. There'll never be another time when all of these people will be in this place in the same time, and it's like a little time capsule. So that in itself is always very special, and especially when you really like everyone that you're working with and you really connect with a character, it just brings happiness to your life. You feel like you're creating something worth sharing and valuable.
Great.
So I think that's great for your life.
Yeah, and finally, why should people go see the Chimera Effect?
Well, they should definitely go see the Chimera Effect, because once they start watching, I feel like they'll have the same feelings that I did when I read the script. It's like you want to know what happens to these characters. You're invested in their story, and I think it's just really fun to see where it could go. And I hope that the chemistry that we all really had in real life does feel authentic, because it was, and it is.
Oh, great. Thank you for your time, Miss Jackie Moore. You
Thank
enjoy
you.
your afternoon.